that's what's out there. So the things I'm going to be talking about are things that have not been recorded. And I'll start out by saying that when we start young, at about the age of 2, maybe 3 years of age, we give our little ceremony to children, and the whole community is asked to attend. And a little boy would be given the most beautiful clothes they could give him, and a little bow and arrow, and a little girl will have a doeskin clothes and little puffles on her back. And then they proceed to introduce the child to the whole community and say, this is so-and-so, guided, protected, and so that they'll be able to walk the red road. And then they introduce the child to Mother Earth and say, this is so-and-so, guided, protected, so it'll be able to walk the red road. And they proceed to introduce the child to the whole of the universe and say, this is so-and-so, guided, protected, so it'll be able to walk the red road. And then they introduce the child to the heavenly worlds and say, this is so-and-so, guided, protected, so it'll be able to walk the red road. And each time they introduce the child to these forces, they say, this is your child. And then they introduce the child to the Creator himself and say, so this is so-and-so, this is your child, guided, protected, so they will walk the red road. And the children might not know what's going on, but all the people that attend these meetings realize that they've had all these forces assisting them in life, that they've never had the feeling of being alone, lonely, or appreciated, or any feeling of that nature while they were growing up, because they had realized that all these forces had been assisting them all along. And it's a very good feeling to have a feeling of belonging. And so therefore, after the child has been introduced to all these forces, we proceed to walk it round and round and round a dozen times or so, because the circle is a sacred sign to our people, and it is they walk it round and round because the circle has neither beginning nor end. So to us, that's our goal. And so therefore, after the child had been walked to the around circle clockwise for a dozen times or so, they proceed to take it to the old lady who's officiating the ceremony. And the old lady kisses the child, hugs the child, and releases the community to the community, saying, "This is now your child, and it is your responsibility to aid it to grow up, and so that it will be useful to the whole community. And this child, therefore, has every right to go to anybody's home and sleep there, maybe even fed there, and has the every right to go to people who might teach it how to make a canoe, or how to make bow and arrow, and how to learn how to hunt and be a useful member of the whole community." And this child at that age is given that ceremony only because they have started to explore the world and starting to move away from their mothers. That's when they give this ceremony. And so therefore, when the child is therefore assisted in how to become extremely not only self-sufficient, but to have the ability to subsist in that world, and to and they are never taught anything detrimental, and these, for they believe that if a child is brought up to in a sacred manner, respected, that they'll be a blessing to not only to the family but for the whole community. And this is why they do it for not only for the child's sake but for the sake of the whole community. And so therefore they become extremely respectful growing up, and it's a joy watching these people growing up in such a way, because they being assisted by the whole community, they start having real good characters that are extremely, that cause them to become extremely trustworthy. And even if you were to go in a darkened spot, completely dark, and notice that there's a spirit there, a body there, you would know who it was because of the emanation that it emits, because of character building. And so therefore, we therefore see these children as an asset to the community, and there are certain laws and taboos given to the community, and that they are given so that for the sake of preserving these conditions. And anyone who willfully break these taboos would be sent away, knowing that nature would take care of them, and therefore they themselves have no feeling of having had to judge anybody harshly. So this is their way of justice. And so therefore the integrity and the good name of the community is preserved in that manner. And and they grew up to become all people, and extremely wise and sage. And I've never known these people to become senile as yet, unlike people down here. So it is quite different from how we bring up our children than they do down here. And so therefore, when they're about 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, at that age, they are given instructions as to how to exist in this world, given instructions who they are and what they have to do to get them to realize what to seek out as to what the purpose of their existence is, by asking them to go on a vision quest, for instance. But before that, they are given instructions to the nature of the world that the Eskimos teach, the old people, the elders, fathers. They would bring the children, a group of children, to the lake and to build a fire there, so that they would have all the elements of the earth present in case they have a need to use of these elements, and by saying to them that there are 4 major elements that make up this world: fire, water, earth, and air. If you take any one of these away, there would be no life on this earth. And there are races that have been given the custodianship of these major elements, and someday all 4 will work together for the harmony of the whole of Earth, and that there will be no one above anybody. And so even then they realized that there was a system going, and so therefore they teach the children what that system is, and this is how they do it. And they caused the children to realize that there are two forces at play in existence, and and these are responsible for the living conditions in any world. And these forces on this plane of existence, there are two. One of them is the material things that we can see, touch, feel, and smell, and we regard that as designated as a square, because it has a beginning and an end. And then there's the spiritual forces that have neither beginning nor end, therefore there's circle and circular, and so therefore we realize then that our Creator produced these powers, and when He produced these powers in creation, He produced them in a sacred manner. So therefore there is no positive and negative energies in existence, only positive and neutral. Because whatever we can do what we want with this power, good or bad, it's up to us, while we are in the middle world. Middle world, the world being that when we use it for damaging reasons, we are devoid of the circle, which has neither beginning nor end. And those people who are in that condition, who are totally devoid of these positive energies, are totally in the square, and they're in that condition by nature and not by the will of our Creator. So therefore they can be helped, regardless of where they may be. And so therefore so we therefore believe that all created things that our Creator bestowed for us, they assist us in the square, and they guide us in the circle. These two powers, and you will notice that if you go deep into the matter of things and find out what these powers are in the material world, you'll find that an atom plus the power of cohesion equals molecules. These two powers plus the power of growth equals plants. These three powers plus the power of senses equal animals. These four powers plus the power of the rational soul equal man. And remember that man is above animal, and that he will act according to what he believes he is. And if he believes he's a demon, he'll act like a demon. If he believes he's an angel, he'll act like an angel. An animal cannot do that. So even if science jump up and down saying you're an animal, that's not quite true, because you're above animal by your very nature. So all these powers plus the power of faith equals spiritual man. And this is the reason why creation was created in the first place. All these powers plus the power of the Holy Spirit equals messengers of God. And the bestower of all these powers is our Creator Himself, so there are only 7 stages of perfection that can actually be found in creation. All these powers below us assist us to be the greatest that we can become. All these powers above us guide us to be the greatest that we can become. You will notice that there's a tremendous amount of energy used up by the plant, that it will go 8 inches through 8 inches of asphalt just to be able to show forth its beauty. It'll be able to split open a large rock in half, just to be able to show forth its beauty. And there's tremendous amount of energy used to assist us to be the greatest that we can be. And we're composed with these powers. That's the important thing you'll really have to realize, is, so that you'll have a far greater respect for the things that make us up, because if we do not have a respect for these things, we will not have respect for ourselves. And you will notice that anything out there in creation, if you do not have a respect for it, they'll lash out against you, may even seek your destruction. That's nature. So therefore, it's absolutely important that we have a total respect for all these forces that make us up, and all those forces that assist us to do what we are. And so therefore, if you go right smack in the middle of the square and face the 4 cardinal directions, you'll find that it is divided into 4. And these 4 teach many things, like the 4 elements that I was telling you about earlier. And there's the 4 stages of a person, child, adolescent, adult, and old age. And there's the 4 seasons, and there's, while I speak, we will come up with 4s over and over again. That is because everything is divided into 4 in creation. And if you therefore face the north to begin with, and give your salutations to all our relations of the Northern Gate, and you'll find that its symbol is the and its teaching is wisdom, which will cause you to realize that your life, all the experiences that you have, good or bad, are our teachers. You have to learn by them. Otherwise, we'll continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. And then you'll face the east and give your salutations to all our relations of the Eastern Gate, whose symbol is the eagle and whose teaching is illumination, which will cause us to realize that all things are connected. That if I do something, give permission for somebody else to do it, and it will have a rippling effect. That's because everything is connected. And you will notice that it is important, most of all, to have a highest regard for children, because these children have to be taught respect, and that what they do, you'll find out that they will never lash out against their parents or anybody else, and that they will learn to appreciate life. If you teach them to appreciate life, all they have to do is be taught right. So therefore,
train going by.
In a while? Yeah, okay. So therefore, and then therefore you south. Then you face south and give your salutations to all our relations. The Southern Gate, whose symbol is either the fox or the coyote or the wolf, where I come from. And its teaching is patience. And it's which will cause you to realize that our whole life cycle begins with God, by God, for God. Therefore, know where your priorities are. Find out what the purpose of life is, the real purpose of life is. Find out why everybody in all the world are involved in a great scheme of things. Because there is a great scheme of things. Find out what that great scheme of things is. Because if we do not really realize what our true purpose in life is, and go through life without having finding out what the purpose of our own existence is, you will have missed out on your ability to assist in the things that are meaningful in the long run. Because if you don't do a useful thing in your life, you will probably find out that it would have been better for you not to have been born in the long run. And so therefore, life is sacred, and therefore you have to know these things so that you will get to know the real purpose of existence, the real purpose of your own existence. And then you'll face the West and give you salutations to all our relations of the Western game, whose symbol is the bear, whose teaching is healing, which will teach you to realize that a wave in the ocean is individualized as a wave. It cannot survive outside the ocean. In the same manner, our souls cannot survive outside of God. When you know all these things that the Spirit teaches, where can you go wrong? You cannot. Life is simple, we complicate. It is our complicated life that causes us to have difficulties and to experience bad things because we do not abide by the teachings that the natural things that have been provided for us by our Creator. They're natural. And so therefore, you will realize that the square is also sacred, even though it has a beginning and an end. And so have that kind of regard for it, therefore. And then knowing, therefore, that what the square teaches, will now go on to learn about the sacredness of the circle that has neither beginning nor end. You will notice that the smallest thing reflects the greatest thing, and that we are told even that we ourselves as human beings are created in the image and likeness of our own Creator. Knowing this, we will therefore use our body. Will therefore use our body to teach us how that is, why it is that way, and we'll start with at the time when our Creator decided that He ought to become known, and therefore created creation, so that out of it will come those that will get to know, love, and worship Him. And so this great mystery is going to be represented by your head. It is a mystery because no one in creation has any notion what that power is. There's not a created force in creation that understands the Creator. Like a table here, for instance, it does know its Creator. And same thing with us. We don't know our Creator. And then He created, that force created two helpers, which are the Inuits call the twins. And these two would be the forces that would bring about conditions whereby the created things would actually be able to get to know, love, and worship Him. And these two are on His left, His creators. And on His right are His messengers, the correctors. And these people are the only people created that can withstand its mighty force. There's nothing in creation that can, other than these two, that can withstand the mighty force of our Creator, which is the reason why He cannot be directly associated with us. And there's a Holy Spirit that extends from here to the creators. There's a Holy Spirit that extends from here to the messengers. And there's a Holy Spirit that extends from here to creation, which is why all of creation is sacred. And there's a Holy Spirit that extends from these messengers to created beings capable of understanding what creation is about, and taught why they were created. So they go into creation, and anyone who's divinely guided by these people go from here to here. So this represents persons divinely guided. And so therefore, there's therefore the circle is just about complete from here. And right when you go in further, right smack in the middle of creation, in the middle of the universe, and in the middle of the heavenly worlds that these people can attain to, is a force known as the central orb of the universe. It is the approachable, knowable, seeable force that we call God. This one is not knowable. This one is not approachable. But that one is, and it emits a force that sustains all created things, visible and invisible. That one and this one are one and the same. This one and this one are one and the same. This one and this one are one and the same, except this whole region deals with potentialities. This whole region deals with actualities. Because they had attained to the conditions by which they were created for, from creation. And there's a line that goes right straight across here, and a line that goes straight across here in this big circle, which makes up the big medicine wheel. And everything above this line here has all got power. And these people, when our Creator wants to do something, He'll get these people to do it. When He wants to say something in creation, He gets these people to do it. And these people are still at work even now, because they are out there doing their work. Therefore, you'll find stars being born, stars dying, even as we sit here, because these two people are still doing their work out there. And if you take this and place it on this side and straighten this whole thing out, and this is our world in creation, and this is universe, the whole of the universe. This is the heavenly world, and the world of the messengers and the creators, and the world of God here. Straighten it out and twirl it around, you'll find how the worlds are really made up. First, there's the earth, our earth. Then there's the universe, the heavenly world that we can attain to, the world of God, messengers, and the world of God. The world of God contains everything, which is the reason why we're told that God is closer to us than our life plane, because this is His world, all of it. These worlds contain everything except this world. They have no notion of what that power is. They contain everything but except the world of God. This world, the heavenly worlds, contain all of the universe and have no idea of what these other powers are. Have no idea what those worlds contain and what these powers are. And the universe, we are part of the universe, so therefore there are four major worlds in existence. As I told you before, everything is divided into four, and here that's one of them. And yet we have three major worlds that we can attain to as human beings: the earth, the universe, the heavenly worlds. Since everything is divided into four, you'll realize that a human being, even though there's a body, rational soul, in the innocence and the spirit, that can attain to the heavenly worlds if he expands out far enough. It's also divided into four. So the rational soul can be divided in half, and you'll find out in life there are those with no-mindedness, low-mindedness, high-mindedness, and spirituality. That's how we're divided as human beings. And there are four because truth is divided into four itself. That's why there are four. We are four because truth is divided into four. And here's how it works. It is good to accept truth as truth because it is truth. It is good to accept untruth as untruth because it is untruth. It is not good to accept untruth and truth as truth because it is untruth. It is not good to accept truth as an untruth because it is truth. There's nothing wrong with these people because these people assist us to understand what the reality of things. And they get us to understand that that everything that proceeds out of our Creator is truth. They get us to understand that we have to assist those children and become adults knowing what is right and wrong. And the problem is here in these two. When you accept an untruth as truth too long in life, you'll find that it becomes a disease in your body's soul or spirit. And to the point of hallucinating and becoming schizophrenic. That is because you had accepted an untruth as truth too long. And there are all manners of diseases out there pertaining to these, like hatred and wars and prejudice and many that have been the cause of great grief in our world because of this, because we had accepted an untruth as truth. And probably not having the guidance that had been placed for us in the real world. And these are the things that I'll be going into also when we begin studying how these people guide us to the reality of things. And as far as this one is concerned, in accepting a truth and as an untruth, is that there will be people in religion, in governments, who will say this way and only this way. Another way is not acceptable. They are therefore trying to keep the status quo and not enabling people to progress as they should. They say to the point of killing millions of people. They try to tell them one way and we cannot accept another way. That is wrong. That is detrimental. It is not in keeping with the natural order of things. But a natural order of things enable us to progress to be what we had never hoped to become. And I'll tell you what we're capable of attaining to when we start going into lessons that these people provide. the messages. And so therefore, you do not throw away grade 1 and 2 to go on to grade 3. You require grade 1, 2, and 3 in order to get to grade 4. And the higher up you go, the more your achievements will be. And so therefore, it is not right to say only and this way. This is the only way, this is the only one way, that you are in fact denying the truth of all these things when you do that. So therefore, this is why this is so detrimental in the real world. So realizing therefore that when we start dealing with these things and correcting this problem, these two problems down here, we'll realize that we'll be correcting the dual nature of mankind. And why are there dual natures of mankind? Because they have accepted these things as truth. You'll find that out in history. Wherever you may read about history, they've always accepted these as truth. They're not. And so therefore, I'll tell you the processes by which this will be taken away, so that we'll be able to progress the way we should when we start talking about these people here. And so therefore, we are not what we have been thousands upon thousands of years ago. We have progressed. We have progressed to a point where the university education that was impossible thousands of years ago. That's because there has been progress made. And so therefore I'll tell you how that came to be. This whole system that I was telling you about, the supported, sustained, and upheld by the power of the covenant. Had it not been for the power of the covenant, this whole system would not work. And the product of that covenant is progressive revelations. And before I go on to that, I'd like to also just tell you that these worlds that are found right here, if you put the medicine wheel around them, put a head up here and a paw here depicting the creators, and a paw here depicting the messengers, and a foot there depicting creation, and a foot there depicting heavenly world that we can attain to, and a tail depicting the essential world of the universe, you'll find a turtle. And this is why this land is called Turtle Island. We contain this knowledge. And so therefore, this is the male aspect of creation. The female aspect of creation is the same thing, except there's a force in the central world from the soul of the universe goes back up to the uncreated, and back out into these his helpers, and back to creation, and it is perpetual, this unending. That is because he had told, our Creator told us that he will never leave us to ourselves, that he will always guide us, which is the meaning of the Great Covenant. And so therefore, you'll realize in creation itself, you'll find the same pictures, like a tree, for instance. You'll find the leaves and the branches, and there's a trunk and the roots. The leaves will fall down to the ground, and the energy is absorbed in the roots, and the energy going back up again. It goes like so, just like the big picture. and you'll also find that we are the same, and we're just why we are told that we're created in the image and likeness of our own Creator. So therefore, what happened therefore is that what enabled us to go and progress as we did is because when our Creator decided to assist us, to tell us why creation was created, exists, and what the purpose of creation is. He gave us signs that will enable us to know the progress that we have made in the great cycle, the big school system known as progressive revelations. And here's how it works. Long time ago, many messengers came to us, human beings, to assist us, to tell us what the purpose of life is. And when the Krishna came, there was a meeting between him and God, which was a ruby, which was the reason why they have a red dot right here in the forehead, because these people then proceeded to try to become divine by becoming transfixed, because they represented the element, ruby. Therefore, this represents the element kingdom. And then came Moses and his burning bush, and that was the meeting between him and our Creator. And you will see Jews waving, just like plants. And then you'll see Jesus Christ and his holy dove, which is the meeting between him and his Creator, and our Creator. And these are capable of movement, which the Christians were able to do, and we'll tell you why. And so you can see progress there. And this is the mineral kingdom, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom. Then came Muhammad, and his medium was Archangel Gabriel, and it represented the human kingdom, and the human perfection, as we know him today, has been brought about by him, and we'll tell you how that came about also. And then came Baha'u'llah, and his medium was the Holy Maiden of Heaven, which enabled us to understand the divinity of things. This is where the divinity of things began, because this whole system was closed when the Bab came and said, you people have done exactly what we had hoped for you to do. You have succeeded in doing what the great plan had asked us to do, and followed explicitly what your Creator have asked you to do, and we're proud of you, and you have been stepping stones to the conditions that we had hoped to be able to attain for human beings, because that's exactly what they did, and therefore we have to regard them as equal amongst themselves, these holy messengers. We cannot say that he is no longer applicable because this one came. And so therefore, you can do the same thing with the others. They caused us to develop to a point where we came to conditions that we are in today that was far, far different from what we were several thousand years ago. That is because we progressed. And so you will realize, therefore, that the dual nature of mankind was being subdued in the early parts of this great religious system until the coming of Jesus Christ. When Jesus Christ came, he asked his followers to go out into the world and preach the gospel to every creature, because the knowledge of the one true God had to become known throughout the world before the process of unification could even begin. They couldn't do it because they were still a backward race. You will notice that Peter set aside 7 meals so that he will be able to observe the Sabbath. That's how backward they still were at the time. At that time, so they were not able to do what Jesus Christ had asked them to do, and until the coming of Muhammad. When Muhammad came, he got the Arabs to accept the one true God, because they were steeped in accepting many gods, and it required a messenger of God to get him to accept the one true God. And the other thing that Muhammad did that was extremely useful is that he got the he brought about the university education to be existent, so that that enabled the Christians to go out into the world and preach the gospel to every creature, because everywhere there were those that had no gods, strange gods, many gods, and those that had the one true God. And it was a requirement that all of them know about the one true God before the process of unification could begin. So therefore, therefore Muhammad said himself that he was the seal of the prophets, which was true, because when the Bab came, he closed the Adamic cycle and opened the Baha'i cycle. When he did that, when the Baha'i revelation came into this world, a new fusion of energy was put into the world, and practically overnight, the earth changed. It shrunk with knowledge, it still took at the time of Baha'u'llah to go from here to there, and it still took that time for messages to go from there to there, as it did thousands upon thousands of years ago. But when he came with this new fusion of energy, within a few decades, few centuries, a whole new world appeared. It is now possible for us to be able to hold the little gadget that would enable us to be able to speak to somebody halfway around the world and everybody else in between, which it was absolutely unthinkable a few decades ago. That is because the requirements of unification of this world were those, the ability to be in touch with each other. And so therefore, when Baha'u'llah came and caused before that happened, he asked the kings and ecclesiastics to assist him to get him to start building the kingdom of God on earth, as has been prayed for 2,000 years by Christians all over the world. We had prayed for close to 2,000 years so the conviction would be right that will enable us to bring about the kingdom of God on earth. So therefore he asked the kings and ecclesiastics and said to them, time has come when the kingdom of God on earth will have become established. I need your assistance to get your people to understand the reality of things, and at the time that this has to be brought about, so that the prophecies concerning peace on earth and the wiping away of tears throughout the world will become a reality. And the kings were not prepared to relinquish their powers because they enjoy their powers. They therefore were not prepared to assist Baha'u'llah, and then that caused Baha'u'llah to declare from two ranks of men his power had been seized, kings and ecclesiastics. When he made that announcement, within a century, kings lost their powers one after another. These are not imaginary kings. These are kings that have been enforced in power since time immemorial, and they were an accepted institution. And yet, when they refused to assist Baha'u'llah in bringing about the kingdom of God on earth, their powers were taken away. And anything any force that will impede the progress of mankind will, in the same way, be removed on this plane of existence, regardless of what it may be. And so therefore, he also instituted many different things that will bring about the kingdom of honor, like the administrative order and a lot of ordinances that we have to abide by, and fulfilling all the prophecies that other religions had written down for this time, which is actually happening. And since the old world order is now complete, that the Bab had closed, we are now at this time, and there are 4 stages that we have, epoch eras that we have to attain to before we can become that for which we were created. And at this time, we have the responsibility of doing away the dual nature of mankind, doing away with prejudice, wars, hatred, and to accept each other as brothers and sisters throughout the whole world, because we are. We are God's children, every one of us. And so therefore, it is therefore required that those that understand this process, the Baha'i status, to diligently try to get this message to become known through the whole world, because if they do not do away with the dual nature of mankind, it will remain a problem in our lives. There's no reason for there is no reason why we can educate man to a point where he would never have to again to curse, swear, steal, cheat, things of those nature. When we actually tell them about the true nature of things, they'll change because when they start to understand themselves. Because we are told that when we know ourselves, we'll know God, and this is the process. And so therefore, therefore you will realize that there's only one force in all of creation. That force is our Creator, responsible for all this. Knowing this, we will realize that the very power which enables you to strike can give out a helping hand. This power is one, and we're the custodians of this power. And the right use of this power will cause us to become righteous. Knowing this, we will realize that there being only one power, we will then be able to realize that there's only one way to love and many ways to show it. There's only one way to be just and many ways to show it. There's only one way to be honest and many ways to show it. There's only one way to be knowledgeable, and many ways of showing it. There's only one way to be patient, and many ways of showing it. And you can use over 100 attributes of God in this manner at this time, which will actually be able to cause you to become divine, as our Creator is divine, which will cause us to be like Him, which in fact cause us to be eternal like He is eternal, by following these examples. And so therefore, there are three ways in which we can assist our Creator: through our body, soul, and spirit. By bodily we mean by your body, your home, your vehicles, or your funds, to assist your Creator in bringing about this knowledge to the world, and by your mental capabilities, mentally, that is your discourse and your education and your knowledge of all these things, and will you be able to use this also in get this knowledge dispensed throughout the world. The third way is through prayer and your attitude and your deeds. And by your example, will you be able to teach people without having to say a word at times, to tell them that that will give others the license to do what you do. And you don't have to say a word in that case to make a difference. You just have to become what God has asked you to become. And remember that all the things that you do not do for your Creator will be lost because you have done nothing for Him. And all the things that you do for your Creator will never be lost because no one can take them away from you, in this world or the next. They'll be a reality. So therefore, I would like to end this talk by telling you how you can use your whole body in finding out the things that the parts of the body, how you can use your whole body to find out the sacredness of all things, and realize just how sacred your whole body is and how it can teach. By starting with your brain and saying, "Oh, my brain, permit me to be able to teach me right from wrong, but I leave you the knowledge of good and evil, because things are not always what they seem." You probably know that. And then you'll come down to your eyes and say, "Oh, my eyes, permit me to be able to see beauty in all things. Beauty on my left, beauty on my right, beauty behind me, beauty in front of me, beauty below me, beauty above me. Permit me to be able to see beauty in all things, because you have created me in that manner, as such." And then you'll come down to your ears and say, "Oh, my ears, permit me to be able to hear these sweet sounds that nature itself provides, because they assist each other." And to the point of you becoming sensitive enough to be able to understand the teachings of the sounds that she creates, like the thunder beams, the crackling of the fire, or even the brook, and maybe the howling of the dogs and coyotes, and songs of the birds, and sounds that are, if you become sensitive to them, will actually enable you to be taught by these things. And Native people are extremely capable of doing this, and then if you want to be able to do that yourself, you should go to them and learn from them, because they're most able to do so. Teach you that. Then you'll come down to your nose and say, "Oh, my nose permits me to be able to smell the sweet scent that our Mother Nature provides, and like flowers and the scents senses that she produces to purify ourselves in our purification process, because they're sweet, especially done for those purposes. And then you'll come down to your mouth and say, oh, my mouth permit me to be able to speak nothing but truth, and like you do, knowing that that everything that proceeds out of the mouth of God is true, and that to apply those same rules as you have put out in all of creation, which will assist everyone that comes in contact with you to be able to get them to understand the purpose of all these things as well, like you have. And then you'll come down to your neck and say, oh, my neck, permit me to be able to stretch out against all injustice. It doesn't require Superman to make changes in this world, or do we care, because it only requires somebody who's sensitive to the needs of the people, and there's much to be done on this earth, and it doesn't require much to make changes in this world. And you'll come down to your shoulders and say, oh, my shoulders, permit me to be able to carry the heavy laden of those who are heavy laden, and remembering that in the past when I was down and out, that people aided me and assisted me, and be like those people who assisted, and those people who are also in need of help, because while you probably have experienced in life where people have actually assisted you in the past, and it is our assisting each other that will where bonds will be made, and to the point of unifying the whole world. And then you'll come down to your arms and say, oh, my arms, permit me to be able to respect all the things I have created, for it is with respect of these things that I will know where my benefits will come. Knowing that all those things that I do wrong, bad will follow. If I do bad, bad will follow. And if I do good, good will follow, with the use of my hands. And then you'll come down to your chest area and say, oh, my chest, permit me to be able to open up to thy full apologies, especially when I open myself up to commune with thee. When you do this, you are inviting all the forces to assist you in your work, in your life, and to a point where angelic forces will be able to assist you in doing what you're in getting the natural, sacred things to become known in the world. And when you start experiencing these things, do not be satisfied with only one or two experiences. Seek more. Because there's some people who say, because I have experiences, I'm ready to die. That's not enough. It has to become a full-time reality. And then you'll come down to your heart and say, oh, my heart, permit me to be able to be the holder of all things that I cherish and love, including yourself, because that's where you'll find them. And then you'll come down to your stomach and say, oh, my stomach, permit me to be able to give thanks to Mother Earth, who sustains me, and you'll find out that she does, and that therefore must have the highest regard for her. And also give thanks to those who have fed you in the past and those who will feed you in the future, for they do it out of the goodness of their hearts. You probably know that. And then you come down to your legs and say, oh, my legs, permit me to be the holder, bearer of thy banner, thy bearer of thy great ensign, myself, yourselves. Become that ensign, become that big banner, that everybody will know what you stand for. And they'll come to a point where As I've met many people who emanate a force because they stand out as these people that I'm talking about that attract people to them. They actually do. Because because when you start living these kids, you will yourself will be able to, even in a short period of time, will actually be able to do this yourselves. Because you have placed your hand in the hand of God. Your whole life in the hand of God. You've become trusting of Him. And then you'll come down to your knees and say, oh, my knees, permit me to be able to bend easily to thy will. Therefore find out what His divine plan is. Find out what has happened in the past. Find out what's happening now. Find out what's going to happen in the future, so that you know exactly what He's doing, and assist those people that are doing it, and do it yourself also. And you'll find out that when you start assisting your Creator, that He will send people who will assist you in this world and heavenly worlds also, and beautiful, majestic, and very strange and things will happen to you that you never would have believed are possible, because you will be associated with a higher force, because in the world that we're contained in, anything done above in our world will seem like a miracle. And when we start doing our business things up, we'll realize it's all connected. We're already there. We're already associated with that. We're part of the whole system. And then you'll come down to your feet and say, oh my feet, permit me to bear hold of the good red road, which change that I'll be able to and always love you and worship you. So that's the reason how we were created. And when you find these things out, you'll find out who you are, what your purpose in life is, and you'll also find out the specific things that why you were created, to do why you were created, to be able to do the things you were created to do. Because some of us have difficulties to do in this world, and when we start assisting our Creator, there will come a time when you will actually be shown by a dream or by a vision what your purpose in life is. All you have to do is become connected to it. Thank you.
Thank you.